Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Motivational Monday. I'm your girl, Jackie O. Here's my beautiful co-host, Ashley Brent, and none other, our special guest, the fabulous, the amazing, the wonderful, Sandra. Hey,
Hey,
everybody.
ladies. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello. So you guys, give me one quick second. I'm getting ready to get us loaded on Facebook and get us shared on a couple of pages. But I hope that y'all are doing well. Y'all forgive my voice, okay? Because my allergies, something is in the air. Something's in the air. I don't know what it is, but it got me
I totally can relate.
all messed up. So y'all bear with me. Okay, so here we go. We are live with Motivational Monday. Again, welcome, Sandra, to the show.
Thank you, Jackie, for you guys having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, we are so happy to have you here. And so thank you for everyone that tunes in. As y'all know, Motivational Monday is all about inspiring and uplifting and encouraging women. And when you finish watching a Motivational Monday, you are called to what? What?
Action.
Action. You are called to action. So after you have attended or you have watched a Motivational Monday, if you are still sitting on your tush and you're not doing anything, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame. Because listen, we have some powerhouse women that are on here and they share their stories and their journey. And it is very inspiring and motivating. And so tonight we're talking to Sandra, and Sandra's gonna, give you her bio. I'm gonna let her tell you about herself, but she is the founder of the Forte, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, Bus
It
Boutique,
is correct. Yes.
as well as 40s Rock. Now, I'm not in my 40s anymore, but I met Sandra when I was in my 40s. So Sandra, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, I want to say again, thank you for having me because I really, really appreciate the opportunity. Anytime that I can share my testimony or have an opportunity to inspire someone else, I'm honored to do so.
Yeah.
And I also want to say thank you to you because you were one of my very first 40s Rock participants. I mean, you helped me with everything. And I was just reminding you about how you helped me with my first website. So I really appreciate you pouring into my vision along with so many other women. But I just want to say thank you for that because
you're welcome.
I think that we all need people like yourself and Brenda to be there for each other when we need help or when we need that extra encouragement. You guys have always been there, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome. So Sandra, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us about 40s Rock, because we've mentioned that word a couple of times, 40s Rock. Let everybody know what was 40s Rock, what was your why of starting that 40s Rock and all the fabulous women that came through that movement that you had.
Okay.
Or that you even have.
Well, 40s Rock was actually morphed out of my boutique. Because one of the things that I have a passion about is fashion, of course, but I also like to inspire women. And so I felt like my ministry was almost like fashion because it would always give me a chance to be intimate with women and hear their stories and inspire them and they inspire me. So it actually started in a boutique with fashion. And so when I got in my 40s, I was actually going through a divorce. I made some bad choices as far as business wise. So I was having a time with struggling with having to close my business. So I would say that in my 40s probably was my most trying time, I think.
Wow.
And I think we probably can all relate to how sometimes we get to that point and you just feel like you've done all you can do and you can't do anything else but just stand. So that's where I was at that point in my life. And I also am a witness that when you get to that point, God always shows you that little light to let you know that he's there. And so I feel like that because I was down and I was probably at one of the lowest points in my life I can recall. And I went to a casting call and I won a national campaign ad by Procter & Gamble. It's called My Black is Beautiful. And I was the oldest participant that was picked for the campaign. I was in my 40s and all the other girls were probably like in their 20s. And so I was the oldest person. And winning that campaign, I felt like that was God's way of showing me that he was still there for me, because it was at the lowest point, and it really was like such an inspiration to me. And so what I took from that is that I wanted to use that opportunity being in the campaign, to show other people, women in their 40s, that life is just beginning. I think that a lot of us, we have aspirations and dreams and things of that nature that we put on the side for our families, for our kids, husbands, whatever the case may be. And sometimes we forget about ourselves. And I think that we either think that it's too late or we've wasted too much time. And I felt like that glimmer of hope with the campaign was God saying that it's never too late, because that was one thing that I always inspired when I was young. I was into fashion, and I used to always try to tell my mom that I was going to be in magazines. But of course, you know how moms are. They never really want to hear that. They always like, okay, yeah, now go and wash the dishes, go do whatever. So that was always the case. And so that was another thing I felt like that was confirmation to me as well, is that God was showing me that I had forgotten about that prayer and that vision and what I wanted, but he brought it to pass. And I was in my 40s at a point where I thought that was never going to happen. That was over. And so I felt like that testimony was something that I wanted to share with women all over to inspire them. And so I started a group called 40s Rock.
Wow. And I love how you said about you didn't know if it was going to come to pass, but it did in your 40s. And that let us know that our timing is not God's timing.
Exactly.
You know, like we put a time stamp on everything. You got to be doing this at this time, this at that time. But God is like, no, you know, and right when you need it, or right when it is the season for you to walk through that door, that is when it's wide open and you just walk right through it.
That is so true, because like I said, I actually have forgotten. That was just the furthest thing from my mind. I had so much going on in my life at that point. I can assure you, being in a national campaign ad, thinking that I was going to be in magazines all over and billboards and New York subways, that was not something that I had on my agenda at that moment. So like I said, I think that was definitely confirmation that we are exactly where we're supposed to be, regardless of where we think we should be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wow. Yeah. Brenda, you're in your 40s. So
yes.
You know, like what you say about that, girl? Because we passed that age, honey.
Well, I mean, I've always looked forward to my 40s because I'd heard so many great things about them. And so, you know, I heard the whole thing of you'll know who you are, you know, you'll be more comfortable in your skin, your own skin. And then I've also seen like the when you kind of switch over from like, of course you were a woman before, but I feel like you don't really reach that I'm a grown woman until you at least reach 40. Yeah. And so I've loved it so far. When people ask me how old I am, I proudly say I'm 41 and freaking loving it. And and like even when I turned 40, I was telling Sandra a while back, I said, I finally reached the 40s, you know, because when I first found out about 40s Rock, I hadn't reached 40 yet. But I saw all of these women, they were like so happy and just, you know, it was amazing. And I'm like, I cannot wait till I get to 40.
Yeah. Well, girl, you look amazing.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And the thing I like too about the 40s Rock, the movement, was the community. You know, and like what Brenda said, she would see all the women and how happy they were, but it was about the community is what I felt, you know, to where everyone was there for each other the best way that they could, sharing resources with one another, you know, and that's really important, you know, especially because we hear it all the time. We as women, the African American women, cannot work together. You know, I've heard that numerous times, but with the 40s Rock, we were able to see that these women could come together from all backgrounds, you know, education, economics, I mean, all backgrounds, and work together and have this movement that you had with 40s Rock.
That is so true. And we were able to serve our community at the same time.
Yeah.
And some of the women, I think that they will admit that they still have long life friends that they met through Fortis Rock that they still keep in touch with, that they're still friends with. So I think that it was a job well done. I enjoyed it. I love it. And I can't wait till we can get back to doing more community things like we were doing before.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's so true. Because community and serving people, that's what it's all about. Me and
Yes.
my daughters were talking about that just the other day. We were watching or listening to a podcast, and that's what they were saying. To serve, that's where your success
It
is
is.
in serving and serving others.
It really is. So
Yeah.
since Corona, we've had two events. We haven't really been doing that much because of the COVID, but we were able to actually complete at least two events that were very important. And so we had to mask up and put our gloves on and go out there and do it. And that was when Houston got hit really hard with Corona and everything. So we went out and we actually gave out clothes out of Forte Bus Boutique, clothes that we had gotten from sponsors and other people had donated. So we gave it to families that were out of work. And then for Christmas, we gathered up. Thank you to all the ladies, everywhere that donated, that sent gifts. And so we filled up Forte Bus Boutique and we went out to the community and gave the kids free toys, bikes,
Oh, wow.
everything.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Tell us about the Forte Bus Boutique. Tell us about that, because that's a new venture that you've started. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, well, like I was saying before, I had two boutiques previously, and so I had an idea as to how much it took to actually run those boutiques. And one of the things that I felt like that was a sacrifice is that having to be at my store all the time and having to be confined, because generally when you have a business, people think that you don't have to work as hard, but we know for ourselves as entrepreneurs, that means that you're there more than you would for a regular job. Yeah. So that was one of the things that I felt like going into it again was something that I wanted to do different. And so instead of going and investing into actually getting a building and a set location, I thought this time it would be really great to try to do something to where I could go out into the women and go out into the communities, different things of that nature that would allow me to have intimate relationships and build relationships with people as opposed to waiting on people to come to me.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. Were you going to say something, Brenda?
Oh no, I was going to ask her, what made you decide to take the leap and like really just go for it this time, after you've had the other boutiques and now you're kind of like, okay, I want to do it, and like what gave you that extra push for you to finally just leap out and just do it?
Well, it took me a while to actually leap out and do it, only because I'm sure you guys can relate, or other people can relate to how sometimes you're hurt about things. And so I was very devastated when I had to close my businesses. So it was really a lot of things that I had to work through personally to even get back out into the arena, because I had felt like that I had poured so much into it before, and I was just so hurt. I could not see myself doing it. And so I kept praying about it. And I felt like that after I got healed about, how I was feeling and the anger that I was dealing with, I felt like I wanted to do it, but I just didn't know how or what avenues. And so I felt like that this was just an idea that I had saw that God had placed in my heart. And I felt like that this was the way that I was going to be able to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. And so I thought, okay, man, this is it. This is how I can be free to move about. I can still be able to build those relationships, and I'm not confined to a lot of overhead to where I'm just consumed with doing it all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So basically it wasn't the way that you thought it was going to happen, but it ended up giving, but the alternative route gave you more freedom. So it was just, you probably didn't even see it happening that way in the beginning.
Not
and
at
here
all.
It is, this idea, not only has it given you the a way to do what you love, but you have freedom in it, and you're
Yeah.
able to really move, and
Yes.
make a greater impact because now you're mobile.
Yes. And I think that was one of the things that I was toying with, because I'm like, okay, do I want to take on that commitment again? Because it was truly a commitment. So, and I said, do I want to take on the commitment of being there and confined to a store, and so, and with so many people being online and different things like that, I really had to think about what would be more feasible and what would work best for what I was trying to accomplish. And like I said, I just woke up one morning and said, I'm gonna do it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
Mhm.
And the good thing
Yeah.
about it was you knew how to do it because
Yes,
you had already had 2 boutiques. The only
yes,
difference is this is a bus, but it was
exactly.
still pretty, the same concept. It's just that the location was different. The facility or the venue was different. So
Right.
with the bus, do you like go to different places? Do you do private parties? Like how exactly do you do that?
Okay, so when I finished the bus, my plan is that I like to go to festivals and I like to go to women conferences and different things like that. So when I came up with the idea, that was what I had in mind, was doing, private parties or conferences and things of that nature. So the first month that I finished Corona, I had a whole booked schedule and I only got to complete one event, and then Corona came and it was shut down. So, but I'm really looking forward now to get back out and when things open up, just opening it up for private shopping, private parties, just whatever I feel like. Because hey, I can do that because it's my bus. So whatever
That's
I feel
right.
like doing.
I
Girl,
know
I
that's
mean,
right.
yeah, if you want to drive it all the way to Austin,
Exactly.
you can come on down.
Let me know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I love that concept because, I've seen that before, how people have turned those buses. And so when I saw it, I was showing my parents, I was like, oh my God, look what Sandra, she did this bus and she turned it. And they were like, oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. So that was a really great, just idea. And like you said, so you could be able to be in the community, be more
Right.
hands-on and not just confined to a building.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I was just so thrilled to see it come to life, from actually seeing a yellow school bus with seats
Yeah.
in it. And I said, this is definitely a testimony of how when God gives you a vision, he gives you everything you need to go along with it. And so
Right.
when I look at the bus and when I'm in the bus, I'm just so proud. Because it was nothing but a vision that came to reality. And so
Yeah.
I know that, that God answers prayers.
Oh yeah, yeah, he does.
Mhm.
And I love how you said when he gives you the vision, he makes the provision.
Yes,
So you just have to make that step to get
yes,
out, and then
yes.
everything else will follow behind you. A question that we like to ask to a lot of business owners is when you make that step, so you have the fear, so you overcame the fear, and
Mhm,
then a lot of times there's the finances
mhm.
of how am I going to get out and do this? So did you bootstrap? Did you do loans? How did you get your vision out of your mind into reality?
Well, I will tell you, when I first opened up my boutique, I had absolutely no loans. I opened it up, and how I did it is that one of the things I would tell any entrepreneur is you have to start with what God gives you. It may look like a little, but you have to learn how to work that little. Sometimes you don't get the whole big package because God wants to see you working and see what can you do with a little before he gives you a lot. So I didn't have a business, but you know what? I had a truck. And so on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I would fill up my Hummer with clothes and I would go and I would humble myself and walk right into those beauty shops and I would sell the clothes that I had to sell. Or if
Mhm.
I saw something going on and I needed to park on the side of the street and people needed to pick up something or shop, that's what I did.
Mhm.
Because you know what? That allowed me the opportunity to get the capital that I needed to open up my 2 stores without any loans or anything.
Mhm.
So where there's a will, I believe that there's a way. So, and I think that's just a very important part of it is just starting where you are and working and doing the little until you get to more. And don't think that you have to wait until you have this whole every piece of the puzzle before you can start work. Don't use that as an excuse. You take what God has given you, you take it and you little bit, and you'll see how he'll add and add to that little bit. And I feel like that is just, that's my testimony every time.
That's good.
Yeah. Go on, Brenda. Because girl, I know you want to say something on that. Because I mean, she was just preaching on that note right there.
She was.
Never despise small beginnings.
I feel like I need to cash app her offering or something.
I know, right, girl? What's your cash app, girl?
Girl, what's that cash app? Yeah, that is good stuff.
Yeah.
That is good stuff. And I think as an entrepreneur, like you said, a lot of us want to have everything together. You know, well, when I come out, I want to have this type of image. I want to have this look. I want to do this. I want to do that, and then we get the analysis paralysis, and we don't move. But, like you said, if we just start with the little that we have, and then God will bless it, he'll multiply it. He gives the increase. And I mean, that's just some good stuff because I think I don't believe it was never intended for us to continue to work for someone. I mean, he gives all of us gifts and talents. It's great to work in corporate. It's great to work for somebody else for the time being, maybe for experience or, maybe for insurance or whatever the case may be. But I believe that we are too gifted to just let that just be our life,
Yeah.
I just don't feel that it should be that way. And I think we shortchange ourselves. And then, like you said, we just keep waiting. Oh, well, if I can just get to this point, then I'll go ahead and move, and sometimes it's not about you getting to that point. It's about you moving. And who knows, that point may be right around the corner. I asked a lady one time, I said, she was talking to me about her business. And I said, well, how much do you need to get started? And she was like, she had blank face. It was crickets. So I said, so if I were an investor, you would not be prepared with anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes you may not have the funds and all these other things, but maybe your start is a business plan.
Yes.
Maybe your start is finally getting your DBA, and you never know what's behind that. It's just a matter of getting started.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I think that most people who know me, or who have been around me, I will wake up with a vision in a minute.
Yeah.
And when I wake up with that vision in my head, I've seen it. I feel like God has placed it on my heart. I've seen it in my sleep. And when I get up, I start moving toward that vision. And I don't entertain procrastination. If I don't know something, I mean, Jacquie, I'm sure you ladies can attest to this. If I don't know something, what I do is that I realize that I don't know everything, but I do know that I can find someone who can help me. After I've done all that I can do, I know that if I need help, God is going to send that right person, or he's going to give me what I need to get it done.
Yeah.
And if you notice, I said done what I can do on my part, because as an entrepreneur, what you don't want to do is that you don't want to sit and wait on someone to do your vision for you. You were given the vision, so you are expected to be the one to work the vision. And then when you get at a standstill or stop or need help, God always provides the people or whatever it is that you need for you to move forward with the vision he gave you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. Like the ram in the bush.
Yes.
Always the ram in the bush.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the part, well, I love all of it, but I love the part of just starting with what you have, because like you said, all three of us are entrepreneurs, and especially me with the skincare line, didn't have it all at one time, but I took it at bits and pieces, and just went with what I had. And then, like you said, God sees that. He sees that we're consistent. He sees that we're persistent with what we're doing. And then he honors that and he opens up those doors, and there you have it. And, you wake up to orders every day, because you're working your business and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But I like how you said that, because, let me plug up my computer. Oh my goodness. Because you can't wait until you have it all together. Because if we wait, we have to have it all together, we'll never start.
No.
Yes.
You know, and Brenda, even what you said, you know, and I do agree with you about the entrepreneurs, and, you know, everyone is not going to be an entrepreneur. You know,
Right.
we get that. But for those of us that were called and that are
Right.
called to be it, we definitely have to get out and we have to work our business. That's the only way.
Right.
It's not going to fall in our lap.
No.
You know, you just got to get out and work it.
And you know, to add to that as well, Jackie, I think that one of the things too that people have to realize is that being an entrepreneur, it also calls for you to make sacrifices.
Exactly.
So, you know, there are a lot of things in my life that I would like to do or like to have, but I realize that I am not at that point yet. I'm at my sacrificing point. So you have to realize what point are you at, because you can't say that you don't have this or that to do that vision or that work, that talent or gift that God gave you, when you're out here and you're not sacrificing and you're sowing seeds in other areas that is not on the vision that you say that you have or that you want to do. So I think that that's an important thing too, is that you really have to be ready to sacrifice, because it's, you know, it's not just that simple. If it was that simple, everybody would be doing it.
That's right.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's not that simple. And it is a journey. You know, that's another thing. You know, people see when we post, they see the end result of it, of like, oh my God, that's so wonderful. Oh, look at that. But what did we have to go through to get to that point?
That's right.
That is so true. That's
you know, so yeah. So yes, people, being an entrepreneur, yeah, it's great, but there are some challenges, you know, that you have, and that's just the name of the game.
But when you stay true to the vision that God has given you, it always comes to it will come to pass. It's just that I think it's also requires some character building and some other things that go in the workings of it. So you have to stick with it and just, you know, like I said, just sacrifice and keep plugging.
Yeah. Totally agree. We got a comment. Someone said, so true. Your gifts will develop as you move. So as you are moving, your gifts.
And that's what I constantly do. That's what I was saying. That anybody that knows me, they know I wake up with a vision in a second. And when I do, I start moving, and I keep moving until I see it.
Yeah. So Sandra, as we're wrapping this up, how do people find you so that, you know, they can book you for a private party or have you come to their conferences or however it is with the Bus Boutique? How can we find you?
Well, I'm on social media, Instagram and Facebook under Fortis Rock or either Forte Bus Boutique. I am on Clubhouse as well under Fortis Rock. So you can find me on just about any of the social media platforms. And like I said, it's Forte Bus Boutique or either Fortis Rock.
Okay. And with the Fortis Rock, we're going to hop back to that really quickly. So you are still operating Fortis Rock?
Yes, it's just that we haven't been getting together as much, you know, due to COVID and stuff like that. But yes, I still am doing Fortis Rock, and I feel like it's something that still inspires women. I mean, I still get messages all the time from women telling me, you know, I finally made it. I'm 40 now. So I do believe in what we were doing. I think that we were inspiring. And like I said, I think it was a ministry to some people. It was very inspiring. And so, yes, I want to continue to do it. Just like I said, we're just doing it on a different level now because of COVID, but I definitely want to get back to it. I think our community needs us.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the final word, Sandra, that you would like to leave with our viewers and, you know, entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs and 40 rockers? What message would you like to leave to all of those people?
You know, I would just tell people, you know, just remember that you are where you're supposed to be. You know, I think sometimes we're really hard on ourselves, and, you know, we get down because we feel like we haven't done enough, or we should be further along, or this should happen, that should have happened. And one of the things that I had to do was I had to realize that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be at. And I think that when you can come to grips that you are where you're supposed to be at, you know, you can give yourself some grace and keep moving and understand that, hey, it may not been where I thought I should be, but I am still here. I'm still here for a purpose, and I'm going to keep working until I can find out and accomplish that purpose.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good. That's really good, y'all. I hope y'all got that. I hope y'all were taking notes. And, you know, again, if you're not watching this live, definitely watch the replay. Please share it. This is some really good information that, you know, can help someone. So please share it. And Brenda, what are some of your closing remarks?
Just like one thing I really pulled from Sandra is that you know, it's never too late, you know, it's never too late, and you have to trust God's timing. And that's a lot easier said than done, because you know, we all have plans, and you know, you like to set goals and you like to give deadlines and things like that. So sometimes it makes it a little challenging to really accept God's timing, but we have to learn how to rest in his timing. I struggle with that myself, you know, and but I believe that's something that really just really stuck out. If you look at the lady from Spanx, you know, it didn't kick off to what, her 40, I think she was 40, 41, you know, and she got how many no's, and here it is, she's a billionaire, you know. And I mean, but most people say, oh, well, you know, you got to do this, you know, in your 20s, your 30s, or whatever. No, it's never too late. As long as you have air in your body, you are breathing, you're on this earth, it is never too late.
Yes.
And so that's what I mainly took from Sandra. And I mean, Sandra, you're doing an awesome job doing it.
Thank you.
Your IG is like, it's like insane. I look at the stuff that you post, the outfits, and I mean, you age gracefully, you know. When they say, you know, I was gonna make a statement, but you know, you're keeping it together. I was trying to be politically correct. It almost came out. But you're aging, I'm gonna be politically correct and say you're aging beautifully.
Well, thank you.
And you're showing us how it can be done, how we can still be feminine, we can still be powerful, you know, and we can still embrace our age, you know, and love it. And just rock the out of it.
You know, ladies, you know, I turned 52 for my birthday, and I tell you, I am loving my 50s. I really am.
I am too. I mean, I'll be 53 in July, and so hey, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, you know. And this has been just a really great show tonight, you know, and I had so many takeaways. And so that's why I was like, I hope y'all took notes, because there were so many takeaways from this. And I'm not going to do a lot of repeating, but, you know, I do agree with it's never too late. You're not too old. You just got to step out, you know, you have to step out on faith, step out into the deep. When you make that step, God will be right behind you, making the other steps. You got to stay consistent. I mean, there were so many nuggets that was dropped on tonight for us to keep going. And it's even a reminder, like, we're all entrepreneurs on here, but we can encourage one another, you know, by sharing what we've gone through, or, you know, just sharing our testimony. And it's like, oh man, hey, I'm back on fire again. I'm back pumped. Because, you know, to let the truth be told, sometimes our fire dwindles just a little bit. And so we need to get that fire lit back again. So it's good when we have people like Sandra and Bren, my co-host, and, you know, we're all on here together and we're talking about this and our struggles and being a sisterhood. You know, in the community and a sisterhood. And so that's very important. So I so appreciate you taking the time out, Sandra, being with us on today.
Well, I appreciate you ladies. I appreciate you ladies having me.
Yeah, such a treat. And, you know, like Sandra said, we know Sandra. We've been with her, you know, from the beginning. I know I have, kind of close to the beginning when she started 40s Rock. And she'll have you going, honey. Like, you know, I have this other friend that's like Sandra, and I don't know if she's watching, but her name is Gail Johnson. Brenda, and those two, when they have a vision, they will call you and be like, okay, boo, Yeah, boo, okay, I need your help. Boo, I need you to do this. I'm like, huh? Okay. It could be at midnight, girl. You'll get a phone call. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You'd be like,
But
I got this idea. I got this idea.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
And that's
as
why
a
we
matter of
have
fact, yeah, go ahead, Sandra.
and that's why we have to surround ourselves with women who
Yeah.
encourage us to do better and to want to be better. So I always say, you know, you have to get yourself around some women who really can inspire you, encourage you, and just be there for each other.
Exactly. I agree. So guys, be sure that you check Sandra out. She is on Instagram and Facebook. Her company is Forte Bus Boutique. And it is a bus boutique. Y'all, and if you're not following her on Instagram, I'm telling you, you need to be, because she be putting together, you know, I'm not all that fashionable. I'm just gonna tell y'all. So I be needing to see some of them posts that she does. So I be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. So y'all need to check her out. You need to follow her. Not only does she have fashion, but she is, you know, always is dropping some inspiration and some encouragement. So please follow her on Forte Bus Boutique, and also 40s Rock. 40s Rock. And you don't have to be in your 40s to still participate with them. But yeah, and that's also on Instagram and Facebook, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so there y'all have it. Again, Sandra, thank you so much. Thank you to my beautiful co-host, Ashley Bren. We will be back. Oh, yes, you're so welcome. And I did see Chase. He walked back there. I saw him. He got on the chair.
You know Chase has to get in the camera. You already know.
I was like, there he is. He made his appearance. So we'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. And we have another amazing lady out of oh my goodness, I want to say Philadelphia. I need to look at my notes. She is amazing, and she has these Indian food. And so this one is going to be really fun, because she's going to send me some of her products and a recipe, and I'm going to cook it, and then I'll be trying it while we're online talking to her.
That will be
so that's
really
going to be really, really fun. So y'all tune in. But again, thank y'all so much. Please enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.